So, a mini scuffle, for lack of a better term, between the world of boxing and MMA has pretty much erupted between Joaquin Buckley and Shakur Stevenson and Terrence Crawford. Crawford kind of came in later. This has mainly been a beef between Buckley and Stevenson over boxing, and how it shapes up to MMA. I guess Shakur said that boxing is better than the UFC. I, of course, would disagree, being a UFC fan myself slash MMA fan, but that might be a little biased. I know there are a lot of boxing fans out there, and I would argue there are a lot more boxing fans in this world than there are MMA fans, and that's because MMA is still a young sport. It's still budding. The UFC is still growing. I do believe that the UFC will get bigger than any boxing organization and will be on par with the NBA and the NFL at some point in the future. But it's just not now. Boxing is way too much of an illustrious and rich and historic sport, today to be worse than the UFC. Boxing, I don't know, like support wise, I think is it's much more supported than the UFC currently. But as an MMA fan, I find the UFC slash MMA more entertaining than boxing ever could be, because there's kicking and grappling and other, you know, variations involved in that sport. Whereas boxing is just two guys punching each other in intricate ways for, 3 to sometimes 5 minutes a round for 12 rounds. It gets very boring at times. Yes, there's knockouts, but the gloves are very padded. So fighters are more so just losing brain power gradually than getting knocked out. In MMA, there's a lot more, drama to it. There's a lot more to see. Cuts, bruising, things like that. Like I said, jump kicks, takedowns, a lot of ground game stuff. Kicks, really fun kicks that are cool to watch. There's a lot more to do in MMA. And that's why I'm so much more of a fan of MMA than I am of boxing. But at the end of the day, my name is Mr. Fight Companion for a reason. I love all forms of fighting. Just not power slap in that new stupid sport where, you have two heavy guys run at each other full speed. Aside from that, I'm in love with a lot of martial arts, and I love seeing them, be put on professionally or shown or showcased professionally. I love that sort of stuff. I love the fight game. That's what I love. So, all this UFC versus boxing stuff doesn't interest me too much, but I did want to tell you guys why I'm so much of an MMA fan, at least more than boxing. Let me know what you think.